W5 returns with a haunting hour-long special, If I'm Ever Found Dead, airing on Saturday, January 24th. The investigation follows the murder of a 23-year-old Canadian woman at a Mexican resort whose boyfriend was charged but found not guilty. Her family still seeking justice. Avery Haynes joins us now with more details. Avery, thank you for your time. What were the circumstances of the murder?
Good morning. Kira Agnew and her boyfriend Ryan Friesen went to Playa del Carmen, Mexico, a five-star resort there to celebrate her 24th birthday. And within 12 hours of checking into that resort, she was discovered by a cleaner. She had been beaten to death in the laundry room on the resort. And as you mentioned, her boyfriend Ryan Friesen was found beside her. And her family was told, he was immediately arrested and charged with femicide, which is Mexico's highest charge when it comes to domestic violence. And her family was told that the prosecutor believed it was a slam dunk case, that this was open and shut, that there were no other suspects, that he was believed to have committed the crime.
So what was his defense?
His defense was that his lawyer presented experts who said that her injuries were too severe for one person to have committed that crime, that it had to have been at least two people, as well as the fact that there was that his DNA was not found under her fingernails, but that there was foreign DNA. And from the prosecutor's perspective, they presented evidence, including testimony from Kiera's sister, that she was subjected to domestic violence back in Canada. They also introduced into evidence a diary, Kiera's diary, which included an entry where she described Ryan being drunk, beating her, passing out beside her, and then not remembering it in the morning until he saw her face.
Avery, you actually went back to the scene of the crime and you even spoke to a member of the cartel to test Ryan Friesen's claim. What did you find out?
Right, so Ryan claims through his Mexican lawyer, who was flown in to Dawson Creek, British Columbia, which is where they're from, for a meeting with some of Kiera's family members last summer, which is 2 years after her murder, to give some explanation for what happened. The lawyer claimed that this was a cartel hit, that the resort had not paid what's called a cartel tax, and so they came onto the resort, chose Kiera Agnew to kill her and send a message. And so when we were there retracing her final hours alive, one of the things that we did was we connected with a member of the Sinaloa cartel because we wanted to find out whether there could be any truth to that. And this cartel member told me that this is not the way cartels carry out messages, that if they're going to send a message, it's very public, and that they don't target tourists, that there are times where tourists get caught in the crossfire or are injured or killed because they're involved in cartel business, but that tourists are not chosen and that this does not happen on resorts.
So the family is still holding protests, wondering if justice is even possible. Do you think it is?
Some members of Kiera's family are still holding protests and demanding justice, and I didn't think there would be a change in this until I went to Mexico, and I've learned that while they do have double jeopardy, just like in Canada, where one person cannot be charged for the same crime twice, they also have a process where an appeal can be made on a judge's verdict, and this was a judge-only trial, and we have learned that an appeal process is currently underway, and that a magistrate is reviewing the evidence to see whether or not that verdict stands in relation to the evidence, and a decision on that is expected any day.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Avery. Again, this special airs Saturday, January 24th on CTV, the W5 YouTube channel, and will be streaming on Crave.